you ever wanted to know all about the mysterious world of the studio musician, then the Studio Musicians Handbook is for you. Written by producer and best-selling author Bobby Owsinski and in-demand session bass player Paul Ill, the Studio Musicians Handbook takes a look inside the world of top LA and New York session musicians with a detail never seen before. In it, you'll learn many of the tricks and tips of the pros that will help you in the studio and in your everyday playing. In the Studio Musicians Handbook, you'll discover the 16 ways that playing in the studio is different from playing live, who hires session musicians, the different types of studio dates, how do I become a studio musician, how much money can I make, what equipment do I bring to a session, and all about the proper session etiquette that studio pros expect. Plus, you'll find individual player's guides for every kind of instrument, including horns, strings, and percussion, as well as 14 interviews with some of the most in-demand studio players like drummer Ricky Lawson, bassist Leland Sklar, guitar player Peter Thorne, and one of the most recorded studio musicians in history, trumpeter Jerry Hay. The book also includes a DVD that contains several behind-the-scenes interviews and gives you a candid, inside peek into a real session in a top Hollywood studio. Let's take a look.
And what we're doing is we're playing the basic DNA of the song, which is ba ba ba, just A. 1 and 2. Before you go, hold on a second. And imagine this happening in it. There's a 1 and 2, then there's a 1-beat rest, then there's 1 and 2 with a 2-beat rest, and then there's 1 and 2 with a 3-beat rest.
I'm just playing straight through.
Yeah, you play straight through. It's a 3-bar phrase. It's going to turn around every 3 bars. All right, ready? Here we go.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Let's record that with energy.
The Studio Musicians Handbook and DVD is part of the Music Pro Guide series, and it's available from the world's leader in audio and technology publications, Hal Leonard Books. Even if you don't have aspirations to be a studio musician, you'll find the Studio Musicians Handbook full of useful session tips that you can use every time you're in the studio. But if you have the dream of being a session musician, this is the book that will show you the way.